Name one bad thing Conor McGregor has done. Name one bad thing. What, he lost Nate Diaz or he talked stuff to hype a fight? You look at Floyd Mayweather's background. Are you shitting me? Mm-hmm. You should be rooting for this Irish dude. Yeah. Like it's crazy to me, man.
So I was trying to find out what that thing we're missing is. And
it's called the X Factor, sir.
But what if, like, you start to look at these different things? Like, why would it be possible? Is he doing something different other than fighting? And I started going down some deep rabbit holes with a friend of mine, a psychology PhD. Something called spontaneous interpersonal synchronization.
Please break this.
So, like, if I do this, what are you going to do?
High five you back.
Yeah. Why?
And if I'm gay, I'm going to lock fingers.
Right. Yeah. Why? And if I throw a low kick on you, sometimes you'll low kick me back.
Yeah.
You know, why? And spontaneous interpersonal synchronization, if everybody in this room started to go for a walk together, within 5 or 10 minutes, all our steps would synchronize.
They sync up.
Yeah. Why? That's a science. There's something really real happening there.
Because we get in rhythm and sync, right?
Yeah. Yeah, there's something real that's happening.
And Conor's not playing to that rhythm.
Mm-hmm. And is he maybe manipulating something like that? I mean, you see the way he manipulates his opponents. And he'll play, these games of manipulation in the fight itself. He'll play them verbally, but he's doing something to people.
Yeah, he really is, because you see a guy like Jose Aldo, he's seen every style, every combination, every left hand, every right hand, and then gets starched.
Yeah.
This is to your hypotheses here is Conor in the locker room told people what he was going to do.
If you go on YouTube and you put in my name and Conor McGregor's name, a bunch of breakdowns will come up. But then there's an interview with me and him 2 days before that. And literally, he says in the interview, I've seen his right hand twitching. It's going to be his downfall. When he comes forward and swings his right hand, I will draw him into the dead space and I will land one and he will fall.
And that comes in with that kind of, he's not playing the same synchronized game as everyone else. And he views fighting differently. And you can say, oh, come on, man.
Yeah.
But when
that's
you look,
what people will say.
That's fine.
Yeah.
But if you look what the man's done in a 4-year span, it's tough to argue. Name someone else in 4 years that has done what he's been capable of doing. And also, look at the guys he's beat. And to me, the real shocker with Eddie Alvarez, I'm like, God, that's a terrible matchup. And everyone knows I'm a fucking Conor nut hugger. Like, I support Conor. I think he's a once-in-a-lifetime athlete. He's going to be the guy, everyone's wearing Bruce Lee or Muhammad Ali shirts. You're going to be wearing Conor shirts down the road. Your kids are. And everyone's going to be a nut hugger. He's that type of athlete.
For real.
So when he was facing Eddie Alvarez, I went, I don't like this matchup for him, man. Eddie Alvarez can wrestle. He punches. He's a hard puncher. He's a grinder. He's a Hall of Famer. You look at
he's the real
Bellator,
deal.
Dream, UFC. I mean, you're talking about a multi-world champion. I did not like it. And when I saw Conor, I was in a show with Brian Count. We did a live kind of fight companion, fighting kid around the fight. And I'm on the mic, and I was nervous. I'm like, oh, I feel like Conor's management messed up. It's in New York. This is a bad idea. We need superstars like him. And when I saw the fight, I went, what the fuck is going on right now?
I know.
It's like we're in this Matrix, or you've seen Casino, that movie 100 times, but then you find out there's a deleted scene that's a better ending. Like, that's what's going on with Conor. And I go, how's he doing this?
That's the question. Right, and that's the question I want to answer. I want to find the answer to that. So afterwards, Eddie said, and his coaches, they were like, I don't know. We wanted to mostly wrestle and not box. And I went out and mostly box and not wrestle. This is a game day performer. Eddie Alvarez is a game day motherfucker.
Pure game day.
And for some reason,
never doesn't show up.
Yeah, exactly. And so he can't even explain why he behaved the way he behaved in that fight. That is something McGregor did.
Yeah, 100%. No one else has been able to figure that out.
When you go and you look at it too, I really start to analyze. There's some really fascinating stuff with his body language that he's doing. So you see sometimes when he comes out. You've seen that, right?
Yeah.
He comes out. like, think of what his body language is doing. I mean, when he comes out to meet his opponent,
Sure.
he's basically going, chill out, man. Hold on. Just, hey, slow down. Cool. You know what I mean? Like, you see him kind of pushing ideas on his opponents.
Yeah, it's not an aggro Diego kind of.
Hey, take it easy. Yeah. Take it easy, brother. Take it easy. Why don't you stay out there?
Yeah, it's almost like...
Yeah, I'm not saying he's hypnotizing somebody.
No.
But
it's a rhythm you don't see in there, and it's a calmness and kind of a weird kind of ownership of the octagon that you're just like, what? Like when he's out waving to the fan, he gets in there, I'm like, what is wrong with this dude?
Yeah, there's something. And we talk about confidence, you know, and that's a big word these days. Everybody talks about confidence in fighting. His isn't even really the same. It's self-efficacy. Like it's looking at the challenge and feeling comfortable that he has the preparation and the ability to handle this challenge. You know what I mean?
I agree. And I also think, and we saw it a little bit in Manny Pacquiao. We've seen it not so much in the UFC. We saw Ronda as far as for female fighters. But I feel like when he's in there, he's representing and he has the pressure of an entire nation of Ireland behind him. So I feel like the pressure on a guy like that brings him to his focus to another level because he doesn't want to let them down. So when you have a nation behind you, like Floyd doesn't have a nation behind him. No, he doesn't have a nation behind him. Cain Velasquez never had the Mexican fan base behind him. Brock Lesnar, you know, he has the WWE fans behind him. It's a little different. They love him no matter what. There's really never been anyone like that. So when he's in there, I just feel like the pressure and the kind of the situation, and he can feel this. It's bigger than him.
Yeah.
Like it's almost like he's the messenger through them. Does that?
It does. And
I don't mean to get
when people are in an optimum state of performance, they express that. They say that you've had moments where everything is just working, and it just feels like you're delivering.
It's effortless. Like it's an outer body experience almost.
So another thing that you see that he does is he ratchets up the pressure, believing, one, that you can't handle it, and two, even if you can, he thrives in it.
Yes.
Right? In an ideal world, you can't handle it, and he thrives in it, and that's 13 seconds.
Yes.
Right? It is fascinating, and you're right. We will be talking about him years from now. We'll be studying this moment. No matter how that fight goes, no matter what happens there, this guy has created the world for himself that he wanted. It's wild.
Now, on top of that, and this is coming from a guy who knows this. So you have Ireland behind you. You have all this pressure. Now he's representing mixed martial arts as a whole against boxing. He's representing Dana White. He's representing the entire history of the UFC. Now he's also fighting for something even bigger than that. He has a son.
Right.
And you're talking about a guy who has a son. When you bring a child in this life, your work ethic and your laser focus is tenfold, man.
Really?
It's fucking tenfold.
Wow.
Because now you represent that little dude. You want to make a life for him, and you don't want to make, you don't want to let him down. It's something it's hard to explain, man.
Yeah.
So add that into the equation.
Yeah, it's wild.